Annyeong, kapsida. In 2020, the Best Picture Oscar went for the very first time to a non-English language film, Bong Joon-ho's Korean comedy thriller Parasite. And do you know what's the most watched TV season of all time on Netflix? Squid Game Season 1 from Korea, with 30% more watch hours than the top English language show, Season 1 of Wednesday. Their all-time most watched movie? K-pop Demon Hunters. No surprise then that K-pop acts from BTS to Stray Kids, Blackpink to 17 are breaking through ever further into the European and American musical consciousness. But what's going on here? Why is it so huge? And is it still Korean if it's written in Sweden, choreographed in LA, and sung in English by a Thai rapper? What does it mean for pop to be K anyway? We'll get to the bottom of this awesome, all-conquering cultural success story in this episode of The Story of the Sound. My name's George Reese. I'm glad you're here. Subscribe and come along.
Let yourself listen to it and enjoy it.
K-pop is cool. Don't hate on it. When you become obsessed like I did, or am, it's a lot of fun. It's also a lot of content. It's a lot to digest.
K-pop seems to resonate so much with people, and being the phenomena it is, it's just gonna keep growing, I think.
So, first things first, this was not an accident. For many years now, the South Korean government has been investing heavily in cultural export. And besides the political soft power advantages, the economic return has been spectacular. Bands and idols work with tourism and other commercial partners, and by some estimates, BTS alone are worth 3 or 4 billion US dollars a year to Korea's economy. 3 or 4 billion, that's pretty good. Whew. But where did it all start? Some would say with the Kim sisters in the 1950s, the first successful musical export from Korea to the USA, a fascinating byproduct of the Korean War and returning GIs. Others might suggest Kim Min-ki, folk pop pioneer and political activist whose work through the 70s and 80s had a profound effect on the development of a liberal and democratic youth culture, despite the government's attempts to censor him. But for me, Seo Taiji and Boys are where modern K-pop really takes off in the early 90s, taking cues from popular American styles of the time, notably neo-soul and new jack swing. They added original compositions, Korean lyrics, rap, rock and metal elements, and a wholly maximalist inclusivity of fashion and choreography as part of the package. It's actually a bit crazy how close this 30-plus-year-old vibe is to the aesthetic we're still seeing refined and enjoyed today. We spoke to Hanna, a Norwegian fan of K-pop, to ask what's so appealing about this rich blend of styles and influences, even from halfway across the world.
My name's Hanna and I'm from Norway. I discovered K-pop about a little over a year ago. A video came up on TikTok, like a snippet of a song. And at first I scrolled by and I was like, I'm not that interested. But then it kept showing up. I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And it was a really cool song. It was Megaverse by Stray Kids. It was like a bit of the music video.
Welcome to the Stray Kids Hot Megaverse.
So I saved it. And one video turned into more videos and more songs. I think the appeal of K-pop is that it's fun. It's just fun.
So if nothing else, Seo Taiji and Boys finding and gleefully combining pieces of sound, pieces of culture, internationally and additively, makes for a colourful, fun experience for the audience. But of course, the impact of Korean music has continued to grow and evolve. We can't not mention Psy and his extraordinary breakout Gangnam Style.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
The first YouTube video ever to break 1 billion views. No joke. It's a bit more of a straight-down-the-line EDM sound than much of the rest of K-pop, with its diverse, intensely infused mix. But if nothing else, this song proved on the world stage that non-English language music could hit big. Ever since, K-pop has been growing and thriving on the international charts. And yet it's not immediately obvious what these different songs and styles have in common, or why so much of the creative process happens outside Korea. We asked Pontus Kalm, a Swedish songwriter and record producer known as Oneye, what's going on?
My name is Pontus Kalm, my producer name is Oneye, and I write and produce K-pop.
Why does the K-pop industry want to reach out to Sweden and to the USA?
Heritage, like, of great music. Max Martin and Aespa and all those guys paved the way for us, kinda, you know? And obviously, yes, they have like exceptional writers and producers, but I think for them a goal is always to break outside of Korea. That's why they need us. I applied to a school called Musikmakarna, which is up north in Sweden, and one of Korea's biggest record labels were holding a lecture. And I'd never heard K-pop. And when they pressed play on the projector and the music and everything, it was like love at first sight, basically. The first thing that hit me was like the budget of the video was insane. Like it looked like it was Avatar, basically. And then just the energy of the music, like all of a sudden a rapper came in and then they were singing together in the hook, and then it's a dance break, and then... So it was just so different from the pop music I had grown up with.
Something which really differentiates K-pop is the density and breadth of references, especially the inclusion of East Asian traditional sounds, Indian and South Asian elements, and Middle Eastern influences, which are relatively rare in Western popular music. Take a listen to this BLACKPINK song, for example. There's about 8 things there you don't commonly hear in Western pop music. More is more.
Stray Kids is my favorite K-pop group. They have like a hip-hop rock vibe, but that gets me really hype. And I love listening to music that gets me really hype. Their style is a bit harder than other K-pop groups, but a lot of them are very like poppy and light and upbeat. It's usually a very warm community. Everyone's just very happy about everything they do.
They combine genres, and a group can release a trap album and then the next album sounds like Bruno Mars. K-pop kind of represents freedom of musicianship. Every artist is ever changing, and that could happen inside a song as well, like from verse 1 to verse 2.
Clearly, Maximalism is the name of the game. K-pop, in its quest for epic success, greets with open arms the best of the rest of the world's input and fuses it together under intense pressure to make the most delicious brew it can. But that's nothing new. That's what Western culture at its best has always done. Western culture has always been fusion culture, drawing on the flavors and talents of the rest of the world, albeit through a very different reasoning and history. Look at Justin Timberlake, for example. In 1996, he was in Sweden, working as a member of NSYNC with Dennis Pop and Max Martin on some of the most successful and enduring American music of all time.
It's gonna be me.
Sweden has great songwriters and producers. There's something about the cultural openness and lack of ego which allows for a very universal kind of popularity. ABBA started writing songs in English in the early 70s, reaching out to the wider world, and the rest is history. Avicii, Zara Larsson. Anyway, a few years later, Justin Timberlake met producers The Neptunes, African-American Pharrell Williams, and Filipino-American Chad Hugo, who had been discovered, incidentally, in the early 90s by Teddy Riley,
It's Teddy.
one of the pioneers of New Jack Swing, that style we mentioned earlier which so influenced Seo Taiji and Boys. He founded Blackstreet, no diggity, and now he works in K-pop, amongst other things. Anyway, Justin Timberlake's first solo album features a few tracks produced by the Neptunes, and I was reminded massively of them when I listened to Jungkook's 3D featuring Jack Harlow. I thought it'd be a cute little link to our previous video because Jack Harlow's from Louisville in Kentucky, but I just thought, wow, this sounds like Justified. And that's in no way a diss, by the way. I think the recipe of pop, hip-hop, and a little bit of Latin something still sounds as fresh today as it did then. But I think it goes to show that good fusion is good fusion. And good pop music is what happens when you open up and reach out and drink in what those outside of you have to offer. And guess who shows up on a remix of 3D? JT.
Jung and JT on the main now.
Whether he's your kind of artist or not, he's the kind of artist who embraces the creative opportunity around him and crushes it all into the best mix he can. The longevity and breadth of his career is no accident, and neither is K-pop's enormous and growing relevance. There's something about this investment, not just of money, but of positivity, of a let's do it kind of an attitude, which allows or almost guarantees that something special will happen.
The BTS song that I was part of, Run BTS, in that case, the record label of BTS sent out a musical track to a lot of writers in the industry. It's called the writing competition, basically. I was playing it through my phone like this to my ear, but the problem with it, when I came to the studio to present it to my co-writers, I hadn't heard the bass notes because I was listening through my cell phone. So I was doing notes, they worked, but they were strange. My co-writers were like, how did you come up with that melody? It doesn't sound right. And then after 20 minutes, we were all like, maybe it is right, it's just on the edge. And so we decided, okay, let's do it, because we have nothing to lose. We sent it to our publisher, that then sent it to BTS. And then they liked the verse and took it. We wrote the whole song, but they took the first verse from us, and the other melodies are from different people that did the same all over the world.
The K-pop industry seems pretty efficiently to pull together the best of the best, regardless of geography, and within a framework allows them to shine as the best they can be.
K-pop groups usually have kind of a structure to it. Some of them are the dedicated dancers, dedicated singers, rappers, but usually everyone can do everything. And then most groups have like a leader.
You will make a part and write a part where the great vocalist can shine and do crazy vocal ad-libs, and then a part where the rapper can shine and do cool bars with nice flows or whatever, and then a part for the dancer to show off their moves. Where it becomes tricky after that is you gotta figure out what is the dancer doing for the rest of the song, for example. So you gotta maybe write an easier part for the dancer to also be able to sing somewhere in the song. Sometimes I feel like the pop industry here can be an 8-bar loop that just goes, because the big importance is in like the lyrics and the melody. But in K-pop, the production and the melody and the lyrics, they play equal part, and that just means more creativity for us producers.
Do you write lyrics?
Yeah, but they translate it. Their language is more syllable based than English. So if there's long flowy notes, da da da, us K-pop writers go, that's a great melody, but we gotta do it da 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 da, just so we can fit a sentence to actually say something in Korean. The ground level of energy in a K-pop song is higher.
And it's not just the music itself. Everything in K-pop is just more, from merch and brand integrations to community and fan interaction.
Every group has like their own universe. Everyone now has a YouTube channel, they make videos, they show behind the scenes. Either they use Instagram or TikTok, or they have their own platform where they do like lives. The albums contain a lot more than just a CD or a vinyl. It's stickers and photo cards that you can collect. So it's like a whole world that you can dive into.
But on top of that, how about the shows themselves?
I have been to a concert this summer, actually. The world tour in K-pop isn't usually a world tour. I'm sure they do as much as they can, but they have some places in the US and some in Latin America. And then in Europe, there was, for Stray Kids, there was Frankfurt, Amsterdam, Madrid, Paris, and Rome. And then you kind of just get the tickets that you can get, the best ones that you can get, because it's a fight getting them. We went to Madrid and stayed there for a couple of days and then went to the concert.
I read this book over the winter break. It's called Yes Man. It's a true story by British journalist and broadcaster called Danny Wallace. It's also been adapted into a film with Jim Carrey and Zooey Deschanel. The basic premise is there's this miserable guy who tries to turn his life around by just saying yes to everything, every opportunity, every request, every invitation. And it kind of works for him.
Yes, I would like to learn Korean.
And the moral of the story isn't that you should actually do that, say yes to literally everything. If you do, you'll eventually say yes to giving away your life savings. But if you can find a way to be open, to be inclusive and positively oriented, you can do almost anything. You can achieve and experience things you barely thought possible.
4시간은 언제냐고요?
아, 이해가 되네요.
K-pop seeks out and says yes to an incredibly wide variety of elements and influences from around the world and packs them as tightly and as lusciously into 3 minutes as it can. The result is intensely vibrant, exciting cultural output. And it's been a theme of our whole first season here on The Story of the Sound. Brass musicians say yes to focused rehearsal and to the crucible of competition. Musicians and technologists say yes to trying out a weird, novel instrument idea. Kids in Kentucky say yes to an after-school percussion club with other kids they don't know yet. Even little old me saying yes to a session with my friends recording an AI song, or building a plate reverb out of kitchen gubbins. It's easy to agonize over what would be the perfect way forward, or to fear what we might lose by stepping through a particular door instead of another one. K-pop, along with all this other stuff, teaches us to move quickly, to add and build, and to take joy in saying yes. More is more, and tomorrow is another song. Quick thank you to the whole team here at the end of our first season, and to you for watching. We'll be working away over here, hoping to get back soon. To you, Asrin, for researching this episode and producing the series so excellently, thank you. Carlos Talag, our Filipino Fantastico, thank you for the awesome graphics and animations. And Tom Ensing, our Dutch DOP and editor, for being a superb partner, thank you. This first season of The Story of the Sound was made possible by Kilohertz, who, if you didn't already know, makes some of the best music and sound design software out there, from the phase plant soft synth to the ever-glorious disperser effect. If you want to make noises in your computer, go check out kilohertz.com. We'll be taking a break for a while. Please enjoy the rest of the videos in the series if you haven't already seen them, and share them with everyone you know who loves music and sound. Until next time, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.